This What's Working with Cam Marston podcast is brought to you by Stella Artois Beer.
What's Working with Cam Marston is brought to you by Stella Artois Beer. Stella Artois is a perfect beer for celebration. Nothing caps off a big sale, hitting your incentive goals, or a profitable quarter like a round of Stella's. Brewed first in 1708 as a special Christmas brew, today Stella is a gift for everyone to enjoy year-round. Stella Artois. Find it wherever fine beer is sold.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of What's Working. I'm Cam Marston. What's Working is the show designed to bring you the workplace, the workforce, and the marketplace trends that are shaping the workplace, the workforce, and the marketplace around you. I find people to interview that are going to teach us what's shaping their business with the hopes that something they say will help us get just a little bit better at whatever it is that we do. Step into the Wayback Machine with me. As a child, I had different things on my walls than most kids. Most kids had pictures of movies, movie posters, let's say, pictures of celebrities and athletes. I had maps. I had maps on my walls, and I would stand on the bed and look at the maps and wonder about places that were on the maps. And I'd stare for hours at these maps. One of the places that always captured my attention was Hawaii. What was it like there? I asked myself. What is it like to be so far away from everything, from the mainland, to be surrounded by water? What are the people like there? What are the trees like there? It was an internal curiosity that I had as a child and is remained till this day. One of the things that I've always wanted to do was, since I began this show, is interview a general manager of a nice hotel in Hawaii, thinking these guys are at the pinnacle of their career. What is it like to run one of these prestigious Hawaiian hotels? Well, a couple things fell into place not long ago, and that's what we're going to get into today. The first thing is me remembering that a college fraternity brother of mine is now one of the big salesmen in a company called Accor, which owns a brand called Fairmont. I reached out to him and said, "Do you know the general manager of the Fairmont Orchid, where I am headed in a couple of weeks to give a speech to the California Grocers Association?" He said, "I do. Would you like an introduction?" I said, "Yeah, I want to interview him on the radio." When we come back from break, I'll have Charles Head on the line. He's the general manager of the Fairmont Orchid on the big island of Hawaii on the Kohala coast. I've been there before. It's a beautiful place. I can't get enough of it. And one of the things that I think happens in Hawaii is what they call event memorializing trips. It's people doing things to celebrate a big event, and they go to Hawaii to celebrate it. An anniversary, a birthday, not just a weekend getaway, but something big. And speaking of memorializing things, one of those things could be retirement. You finally get to the end of the road, you retire, and you want to do something nice. So you pack the kids and the wife or the spouse or the husband or whatever it may be, and you go to Hawaii. And with this retirement, you enter a new stage of life. And this is the perfect time to mention my friends at Sandifer. Mark Salyers and Jamie Sandifer run Sandifer Wealth Management here in Mobile. Find them online, sandiferwealth.com. They'll help you with these retirement plans once you've retired and perhaps had a windfall at the sale of your business. They'll help you with succession planning, consulting, and advice on how to get out of your business, help you think through the replacement, but more importantly, how to manage your life and your finances on the other side. If you save more than you spend, if you're worried about your own retirement or looking forward to a beneficial retirement, if you are a business owner that someday hope to sell that business and take the family to Hawaii and want some help figuring out what to do next, these are the guys to call. Jamie Sandifer and Mark Salyers, Sandifer Wealth Management. When we come back from break, I'll have online Charles Head, General Manager, Fairmont Orchid, Big Island, Hawaii.
What's Working with Cam Marston is brought to you by Stella Artois Beer. Now offering the purchase of the Stella Artois Chalice, a beautiful stemmed glass with the Stella logo. The purchase of each Stella Artois chalice provides 5 years of clean water for someone in one of 13 developing countries around the world. Learn more at stellaartois.com. Stella Artois. Find it wherever fine beer is sold.
At Spring Hill Toyota, it's just that easy. From our 3-day exchange to free car washes, the benefits of the Spring Hill Advantage make the choice easy to see. We make it easy to own. Every vehicle comes with Toyota Care, plus our no-cost maintenance plan with free tire rotations and oil changes for 4 years. Get peace of mind with free roadside assistance 24/7. And don't forget, it's easy to buy your car 100% online. Visit SpringHillToyota.com today. It's just that easy.
I'm Eric Cromwell. The law firm of Cromwell & Associates can help guide your decisions regarding the life you've created with estate planning tools like wills and trusts. We've planned meetings with first-generation business owners and large multi-generational family groups. With locations in Mobile and Fairhope, we can assist you and your family through every stage of life. To learn more, call 251-605-9075 or find Cromwell & Associates on Facebook.
When you make the right decision, it feels good, like picking the perfect accent rug or choosing a good night's sleep over an all-night crime show binge. It feels really good to make the right insurance decision, too. I'm State Farm agent Allison Horner, and that's why I'm right here in Mobile to help you select the right protection at the right price. I'll make sure you understand your State Farm coverages so you'll know what to expect if the unexpected happens. With me as your State Farm agent, it's easy to make the right choice. You can come by, call, or click AllisonHorner.com. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We're back. You're listening to What's Working. I'm Cam Marston, and on the line with me is Charles Head. Charles is the general manager of the Fairmont Orchid on the Big Island of Hawaii, one of the world's most beautiful places. Charles, thank you so much for your time. Welcome to What's Working.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be with you, Cam. I appreciate it.
It's a budding on summer here in the deep south of Alabama. You're on the beautiful Big Island. Give us a snapshot real quickly of your weather today.
Our weather today, it's boringly beautiful. You know, winter to summer ranges from sort of the low 80s to the high 80s, typically with the trade winds blowing and having a beautiful cooling effect. And I'm very, very happy to report that today is just like all those other days.
Yes.
So blue sky, a little bit of a breeze in the morning, turquoise ocean. Really, it's a wonderful day in paradise.
Tell us about the Fairmont Orchid, the size of the hotel, explain the affiliation with Accor, if I'm pronouncing that correct, the number of rooms. What do we need to know about your property?
Sure. Well, Fairmont is one of Accor Hotels brands, and Accor acquired Fairmont back in 2016. This particular hotel, we've got 540 guest rooms. We're situated on about just over 30 acres on the Kohala coast. We have over 100,000 square feet of event space here on property, so we're a very popular destination for both leisure travel and also corporate incentive type of travel as well. So we're situated on the driest part of the island. We'll get it's about 10 inches of rain a year, so very, very infrequent. Kind of referring back to the weather.
Yeah. So 540 guest rooms. How many employees does it take to manage that number of guests?
Well, typically, you know, obviously it's been a tumultuous time in the hospitality industry the last few years, but traditionally we had upwards of 700 employees as part of the team, or part of the ohana, as we like to call it. But you know, at this point in time, with sort of the interest in Hawaii since the state has reopened, and that real growth in interest, we're you know, working our way back up to where we were back in in 2019, but usually about 700 employees.
What's your occupancy these days with the COVID kind of on its heels and people really? I mean, I'm coming out there in a few weeks, and I think I'm the third or fourth person that I know that's planned a trip to Hawaii in the last 5 or 6 weeks. It seems to be very popular right now. What's your occupancy right now?
Well, our occupancy is, running in the 70s, which is actually, significantly ahead of where we'd expect it to be. But, I think it is reflective of a lot of interest on the part of guests to come back to Hawaii, because I think that everything that made Hawaii Island a very special place in the past has become even more important through this past year that we've had. So, the spirituality of the island, it's a place of healing. It's a place of happiness. The seamless connectivity with the mainland as far as infrastructure and that side of things, obviously the ease of access and compared to some other locations in the world at the moment. So Hawaii has bounced back very strongly, which I'm happy to report. Yeah,
that's the way it seems, and I'm kind of trying to bone up on what I need to do to get there. I'm bringing 2 of my children with me for this conference that I'm attending, and there are some restrictive measures, is the way it reads to me, on COVID testing and things of that nature that we are not seeing in my neck of the woods. Tell me a little bit about that, if you could.
Sure. Yes, and I would certainly recommend anybody that's interested in visiting Hawaii, they should access the Safe Travels website that is put on by the state of Hawaii, because there are a number of not so much restrictions, but precautions that are in place that include a pre-departure COVID test that is required to be completed within 72 hours of departure, and the results for that have to be received, prior to travel, and it has to be conducted with one of a number of pre-approved testing partners that the state has established relations with. So there are some steps to take. Currently, arriving on the island, there is a secondary test, one of the rapid tests that takes place here. But I think the great thing about that is that, once you arrive here on the island, you can have sort of a great level of confidence and, in the safety and that side of things. Once you arrive here.
Yeah, that the people that are coming in with you are clean, and you got a clean place to have a clean is not a good word, but you got a clean place to have your vacation.
Well, that's right. Yeah, you can. The intent is to relax and enjoy the destination, and I think those protocols really allow you to do that. And the protocols have really done a very, very good job as far as kind of the safety of our community here on the islands as well, which is obviously, hugely important.
Charles, I'm really interested in how you manage guest expectations in such a elite resort of yours, in such a elite destination. I'm very interested in how you find and train the people that are going to deliver this really high level of customer service, because there are people in my listening audience who want to find and train people to deliver a high level in customer service. They want to figure out they go to places like yours, and they do nothing but appreciate what they see around them, knowing how hard it is to find and keep and train good people. So that's really where I want to go in the heart of this conversation. But before that, I want to hear a little bit about you. I can only imagine that a Fairmont Hotel in Hawaii is kind of a gem, a dream job for a guy like you. Tell me your background and what led you to the Big Island and this Fairmont.
Well, Cam, I keep telling people what a hardship posting it is,
yes,
but
sure.
so far people are not biting. But No, I've been very, very fortunate. This is my second posting in Hawaii. I spent 7 years at our sister property over on Maui. Had a wonderful journey in hospitality. One of the real blessings about our business is, they tend to develop resorts and hotels in really great places. So, being able to enjoy some of those, spend some time in Canada, in Whistler and Victoria, Vancouver, and St. Andrews in Scotland.
Wow.
A couple of postings in Hawaii, and also some time in the Bay Area. So, been really blessed. It's a great business. You get to spend good time in great places, and above everything, you get to meet some amazing people when you're in a hotel of this kind of stature.
Charles, I would imagine that you have colleagues at the Fairmont or at the Accor organization that have not had such plum assignments as the ones you've seen. What makes you so successful? What is your secret sauce?
I think that, typically our Fairmont hotels are kind of at the heart of the community wherever they are. So, there's a prestige about them and sort of a sense of place about them that, wherever you are, it's going to be a special experience. I think that, for me, I've been blessed. I've probably had an orientation towards the resort side of things as opposed to city center hotels, a little bit more experience in that area. And, I think people can get sort of an affinity one way or the other. But I don't think there's any sort of secret sauce. It's, it all really comes down to sort of, the leadership team that you surround yourself with, and the colleagues that you work with, because they're the ones that are going to make the experience special for our guests. So, that's, to me, kind of the number one thing is making sure that you just surround yourselves with great talent.
When we get back from break, Charles, I want to talk to you about how you find that talent. I want to talk to you about what questions that you may ask in an interview, or what things your team may look for in an interview that identifies somebody that's capable of serving the guest at the high level that you expect, and then how you train them to do so. Because I know there's a thirst for this information. Where I live, there is a great demand as I speak for people. We can't find enough. There are job availabilities everywhere. So there's that, there's finding people, and then there's finding the right people. And when we come back, I want to hear how you do it. You're listening to What's Working. I'm Cam Marston. We'll be back after this break.
Paul Lewis, General Manager of Roy Lewis Construction. Many of our commercial buildings you drive by daily on both sides of the bay are the fruits of our client relationship since our beginning in the early 80s. It is our mission to bring value to our clients, from retrofits to ground-up construction and everything in between. We have more advocates than any of our competitors who have been in business twice as long. Same with repeat business, same with referrals. Find us online at roylewisconstruction.com and let's talk about your next commercial project.
Hi, I'm David Nelson, brewmaster and owner of Braided River Brewing in downtown Mobile. We make drinkable, flavorful craft beer perfect for life on the Gulf Coast. So pick up one of our six-packs before your next adventure, or stop by our tap room for a relaxing afternoon with friends. Follow us on social media for the latest beer releases and events, and ask for a Braided River at your favorite bars and restaurants. Thanks for your support. We look forward to sharing our beers with you.
This is Cam Marston, and I'm with Cajun Mike of E3 Termite and Pest Control. Cajun Mike, if a homeowner thinks they have termites, do you offer inspections? What about someone buying a new home? Can you come in and take a look and see if there are termites in their new home?
Yeah, basically what we would do on a home above and beyond anyone else is we actually do a thorough inspection. But above that, we will use infrared imaging it will allow us to see problems in the wall, and at times can tell us if there's anything going on.
That's fantastic, Cajun Mike. How can people find you?
They can find me at e3pest.com.
That's the letter E, the number 3, pest.com.
King Solomon wrote, "Without consultation, plans are frustrated, but with many counselors, they succeed." The law firm of Cromwell and Associates has the legal counsel that can help your business succeed with experience in LLCs, corporations, and tax. I'm Eric Cromwell. Our law firm has locations in Mobile and Fairhope. Call 251-605-9075 or search for Cromwell and Associates on Facebook. And let's discuss how we can help you.
We're back. You're listening to What's Working. I'm Cam Marston, and on the line with me is Charles Head. He's the general manager of the Fairmont Orchid on the Kohala Coast in the Big Island of Hawaii. I've always had a fascination with Hawaii. I've always wondered what it's like to work there and what it's like to find and train people to deliver such a high level of customer service experience as some of these hotels in Hawaii do. Charles, let's get into that conversation right now. When you're looking for new talent to come in a customer-facing role, tell me what you're looking for and how you find them.
Yeah, Cam, I like I said, I think that surrounding yourself with great people is the number one priority, and I think that for us, who we bring onto the team is the most important thing that we do. Ultimately, there's many beautiful hotels around the world and beautiful physical places. But, it's the employees doing something special and listening to a guest and, taking that opportunity to do something special and to recognize a guest. That's what really makes a difference beyond sort of the bricks and mortar.
How do you find them, Charles? What are you can't just put a help wanted sign out. That's not getting you who you want. You've got to, I'm thinking there's a clever strategy that you all utilize that helps you find these people versus a help wanted sign and anybody that comes that's got a pulse has got a job. That can't be the case. If it is the case, don't tell me, because I got this beautiful narrative going on in my head the way I think it is. What are you doing?
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. It's way beyond just having a pulse, for sure. And I'm very happy actually to say that the number one source of employees for this resort is actually referrals from existing employees, which we take as a real compliment because, we believe that, it must be a very positive experience if you're willing to have your relatives or your children or your friends, you're recommending it as a place to work. So, we take that very positively. It is a pretty rigorous process. Most employees will go through certainly 3 or 4 interviews, which does include completing an online a questionnaire as well, which tells us a little bit about each person that has applied and what their sort of characteristics are and where their talents lie and that sort of thing. So it's a combination of that and in-person interviews. Every employee gets interviewed by our talent and culture department, by the department that they'll be working in, and also by one of our senior leadership team here as well. So, that allows us to get multiple perspectives on the employee, and I think it's also really beneficial for the candidate that they can also hear from multiple people and see whether everybody's singing off the same hymn sheet, so to speak.
Yeah. That metaphor plays very well in South Alabama, singing off the same hymn sheet.
Well, there you go.
So, Charles, are there unique questions that you ask that reveal a service ethic? I would never expect you to say, we've got a trick question, Cam, and here's the trick question. But I'm curious if there are questions that perhaps Fairmont or Acor has developed over the years that really get some insight into the candidate. Is there anything like that?
Well, what we call our talent meter, which is the online component of the interview, that tells us a little bit about the employee's talents and areas of talent and areas of non-talent. But like I say, we like to complement that with in-person interviews. Personally, I like to get a sense as to sort of what it is that motivates an individual and what sort of environment they like to work in and what their own kind of personal non-negotiables are as far as a place of work, just to sort of try and gauge whether there's alignment between this organization and them as an individual, because that's pretty fundamental.
Are there people that you bring on board that don't have the right customer-facing skills, but perhaps have a skill somewhere else that's valuable, and you bring them on board and just keep them in hiding, keep them down in the basement or something like that to do their job, or back in the kitchen? Or is everyone that comes aboard need some sort of customer interaction skills?
Well, I think that, we do try to match sort of talent with the task, I would say. And, individuals may or may not, have an affinity towards kind of front of house guest interactions. But I think the important thing is even those that may not be facing our guests or interacting with our guests on a day-to-day basis, they need to sort of share the values and share the interpersonal skills to be able to, work within a large team. So there is certainly a prerequisite for those interpersonal skills, whether you're in the front of the house or what we call the heart of the house. So like I say, I mean, this is a people business, and I think some level of natural affinity in that area is really important, whatever role you're playing, because if you're not in the front of the house, then you're supporting the heart of the house.
How do you measure customer success in service? How do you measure whether, first, do you set a goal and say, we want our survey result? Are they survey results that you use to measure the goal? How do you measure whether you're delivering the high quality customer engagements that you hope for? What is that tool?
We have a partner that we work with that administers our guest satisfaction process, and it's certainly very, very important to us. It's part of a balanced scorecard that we have. Obviously, sustainable hotel success is going to come from guest satisfaction. Without that, any success will not be sustainable. So each guest that stays with us has the opportunity to participate in a survey after their stay, and it covers every aspect of the visitor experience here, and provide feedback on that. And, that's tremendously valuable to us. It's really valuable for understanding sort of where we can improve, and it's also really valuable going back to, the employee side of things, because it's a opportunity to share who may have made a difference during your stay. And as much as anything, it becomes a recognition tool for us, I would say, as anything. But so you get some subjective feedback, comments and that side of things, names of individuals that may have made a difference, and then you get some sort of data that comes out of it as well, which is obviously really important for us for trending and planning and that sort of thing.
Do you have a way of? Do you have a goal, a customer service goal that we want? We want to average 4.5 out of 5 or something like that. And do you make that goal known to the entire staff?
Yes, we have a goal that we set for ourselves every year, and obviously, in this business, you set out for 100%. You want 100% of people to have an amazing time with us and sort of leave as raving fans. But we have a goal that we set each year, and that is very well communicated amongst the team, and everybody is aware of that goal and sort of understands, hopefully their role in supporting it. So.
And when you hit the goal, is there a reward that goes to all employees? Is there a way that everyone gets a chance to celebrate, whether it's a high five or a stipend or a meal or a coupon or a gift certificate?
We do a lot of celebrations around the result when we hit sort of targets, and we have a number of events each year. We will set sort of targets and kind of challenges that we have for our employees. We also have an amazing Employee of the Month program and Leader of the Quarter program, where we can recognize those that have sort of really made a difference. There's some wonderful benefits that come along with that. But as much as anything, it's I think we use it as an opportunity to create engagement with the goal, and our team, they're a very, very social team, and they love to have the opportunity to get together for a celebration when we've hit a target.
Yeah. Charles, so we talked about the surveys. We talked about the opportunity for a guest to highlight an employee that made a real big difference in their stay. When we come back, let's talk about those guests and what they expect from you and what being a prestige resort on the island of Hawaii does for the guests in terms of their vacation planning and how it comes out in their interactions with you and with staff. Let's talk about the guests when we come back. Charles Head is the general manager of the Fairmont Orchid on the big island of Hawaii on the Kohala coast. I've been to this property. I will be returning in a couple of weeks. It's glorious, and I've always had a fascination with the people who run these places. You're listening to What's Working. I'm Cam Marston. We'll be right back.
At Roy Lewis Construction, we're in the business of adding value. Whether it's working with you to meet your unique business needs or making investments in our community in lasting ways, providing unparalleled value and quality in every commercial construction project. When planning your next commercial project, reach out to Roy Lewis Construction. We'll pair you with a designer that best suits your project needs and work with that designer to balance the best architectural outcome with the best budget outcome. Find us online at roylewisconstruction.com, building legacies one relationship at a time.
At Spring Hill Toyota, it's just that easy. From our 3-day exchange to free car washes, the benefits of the Spring Hill Advantage make the choice easy to see. We make it easy to own. Every vehicle comes with Toyota Care, plus our no-cost maintenance plan with free tire rotations and oil changes for 4 years. Get peace of mind with free roadside assistance 24/7. And don't forget, it's easy to buy your car 100% online. Visit SpringHillToyota.com today. It's just that easy.
I'm David Nelson, brewmaster and owner of Braided River Brewing. We want beer that goes along no matter where the adventure takes us and that doesn't make us choose between great beer and drinkability. We're drawn to the Delta and united by beer because to us, the best way to celebrate the Delta is to slow down and savor the moments and the beer together. Come visit our tap room in downtown Mobile and ask for us at your favorite bar or restaurant. Visit online at braidedriverbrewing.com.
Think about how people really see you. The kid at the drive-thru just sees a coffee drinker.
Please pull forward.
Your local barista sees the person who loves a smiley face in their latte.
See you next time.
It's kind of the same way with insurance. Other insurance companies just see a customer, but a State Farm agent sees more. They see you as a neighbor. Your State Farm agent is here to get to know who you really are so they can help life go right.
Call me, State Farm agent Allison Horner, in Mobile at 666-1616.
It's Cam again. Each Friday, my 3-minute commentaries called Keeping It Real are broadcast on Alabama Public Radio at 7:45 a.m. and 4:45 p.m. For 3 years, I've shared my thoughts and insights on the world and on life as I watch it go on around me. They've won a few statewide and national awards, and I really enjoy them. My goal for the commentaries? I simply want them to make you nod at something that you recognize or smile, or maybe chuckle to yourself. Our world faces a shortage of good intentions these days, and my Keeping It Real commentaries are my effort to help fill this void. Search for Keeping It Real with Cam Marston in your Facebook search bar or on your favorite podcast app, and I hope you enjoy them. Charles Head is with me on the line. He's the general manager of the Fairmont Orchid on the Big Island of Hawaii, a place that I've always held a fascination for. Charles, prior to the break, we were talking a little bit about the guest experiences, and I want to talk about those guests. People plan. Let me raise my hand here. I brought my family to Hawaii a few years ago after what was a brutal year of travel, but earned enough miles to get everyone there. And I planned every detail of this trip, and I wanted it to be spectacular because it was a destination I had been selling to my wife and to my children for years as the most beautiful place on earth. So when we get there, we don't want anything to go wrong. We want it to match the fantasy that we've developed in our head about the destination. I'm curious, Charles, do guests who come to your hotel have an elevated idea of what they expect because of the exotic nature of it? And how do you deal with them? Is there a way to even begin talking about those guests?
Yes, Cam. I think that you come to a luxury hotel in Hawaii, and absolutely there's elevated expectations, and that's understood, and really from the point of reservation onwards, we're committed to sort of bringing those aspirations to fruition. We have an outstanding concierge and pre-arrival team that are here to, facilitate any advance arrangements for guests as far as particular activities or that sort of thing. Some guests, may be coming here and simply looking to sort of chill around the beach and the pool, but others, like to put together kind of a very, very rigorous program. And so, we're here to facilitate that, whichever it may be.
Do you find that guests have unrealistic expectations of you and your property because of the destination?
No, I don't think unrealistic expectations. Our guests, it's often a sort of once-in-a-lifetime visit. It's a bucket list sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
We're the type of resort here where so many times people are sort of celebrating or kind of memorializing something, whether it's a honeymoon or a anniversary, birthday, special vacation. We've had guests where we're bringing the family out where it may be the last opportunity for the family to be together, and sort of when you have that kind of level of responsibility, I think those expectations are clear and kind of understood on our part. And, what makes it so fulfilling for the entire team is the opportunity to kind of make a difference under those circumstances. That's pretty powerful stuff. And, for anybody who likes sort of quick, instant gratification, this is a great business because you get to see the fruits of your efforts pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's a good point. I love it that you say, and I hadn't considered that the Hawaii and perhaps your hotel as one of the nicer ones out there is is a destination meant to memorialize events, whether it be anniversaries, birthdays, final trips with family and friends. So there's significance attached to these events, and you get an opportunity to impact those events. One of the two visits I've made to your property, I think it's two, one of them was for a corporate event. I was a presenter for a insurance company out of Canada, and this upcoming one will be with a grocery association. Tell me about the different attitudes of a family group that's there to memorialize event versus an incentive trip or a corporate meeting. Is it almost a palpable difference in the way these guests interact with you?
Well, I think honestly, from an attendee perspective, Cam, I think much of the experience is very similar. We're not a location where, from a corporate event perspective, you'll have a lot of meetings taking place or that sort of thing. We kind of more aligned with the incentive market, where this is a reward for attainment of goals, and so if it's a corporate client, the individual participants are here to enjoy the resort in the same way that if it was an individual traveler. Obviously we have to partner very closely with the organizers of the larger events, and it really is kind of a partnership with them to make sure that their goals, as far as the program, are realized. So the planning side of things is probably where it is most different. But when the client gets here, it's really all about taking care of them and letting them enjoy the resort. I think that making sure that it achieves their goals, whether those are personal or professional.
I think I remember seeing that a meeting planner's job is one of the top 3 or 5 most stressful jobs in the world. And I can't imagine that the pandemic has done anything to that, if not accelerated, like it's done so many different things. But you have Bob and Sally who are there to celebrate their anniversary, and then you've got the meeting planner from XYZ Fortune 500 company. And Bob and Sally are grateful for everything they get. This is a bucket list trip, and they just can't believe them and pinch me when it's over type of stuff. And then meeting planner with XYZ company's got some sort of emblem likely on their lapel that says, "I am God, and you will do what I say." Is it? Do you? I know you're not going to tell me which is your favorite, Charles, because it would be a foolish thing to say. But do you treat them differently?
I don't think so. In all honesty, I think that meeting planners, as you say, it's a very very challenging and kind of it's an arduous kind of role, and it's a lot of planning goes into a program here, and then the actual execution that may take place over a 4 or 5 day period is extremely intense. So there's probably more pre-planning on the side of the group organization, but the individual traveler, it may be a little bit more spontaneous when they get to the property here.
Yeah,
a little less structured. But I think it's we're fortunate here in Hawaii to have the amazing spirit of aloha that is epitomized by our employees, and it's something I mentioned earlier. I've had a chance to work around the world, and nowhere else have I seen this, and just this natural sense of hospitality. And that is really amazing, because I think whether you're a meeting planner or whether you're an individual, that's what people are looking for, that welcome and to be respected and thanked and to have their needs taken care of. So we're very blessed.
It's a perfect opportunity, Charles, for me to ask you one of my favorite questions, which is, tell me a story that epitomizes what you do.
Well, I think that, as I say, I mean, the guests that are coming here, they're typically, they're coming for a vacation, but there's often a purpose behind it, a celebration. That one of life's great kind of moments that they're looking to sort of create memories of, and I think we have a role that we can play in that, as far as making sure that if it is somebody that's coming out here and it's the last opportunity for a family trip together or that sort of thing, then we have a role to play as far as making sure that it's an outstanding one. Hawaii is a very special place, and we recently had our director of Hawaiian culture here at the resort work with a guest on sort of memorializing a loss that they had, and it was a beautiful ceremony in the canoe with flowers sort of scattered out in the ocean, and a very spiritual, very Hawaiian, very authentic ceremony that took place. And those are kind of the things, again, they're those sort of chicken skin kind of moments where you get to really make a difference for somebody, in a way that's really out of the box.
Charles Head is the general manager of the Fairmont Orchid on the beautiful Big Island of Hawaii. And it's a place, folks, if you ever get a chance, you need to go and you need to see this hotel. Charles, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Cam. It's been a great pleasure, and we look forward to having you come and visit us once again. And I hope there'll be an opportunity to chat and compare notes and get your perspective once again from being a visitor here at the Fairmont Orchid.
Look forward to it. Can't wait to shake your hand in person. Folks, Charles Head, Fairmont Orchid. We'll be right back after this break with final comments. You're listening to What's Working.
What's Working with Cam Marston is brought to you by Stella Artois Beer. Stella Artois is a perfect beer for celebration. Nothing caps off a big sale, hitting your incentive goals, or a profitable quarter like a round of Stellas. Brewed first in 1708 as a special Christmas brew, today Stella is a gift for everyone to enjoy year-round. Stella Artois. Find it wherever fine beer is sold.
This is Cam Marston with Cajun Mike of E3 Termite and Pest Control. Cajun Mike, houses on pilings can have termites eat their way up inside the piling and enter the house. The homeowner never knows about it, but your company offers protection. Tell me about that.
Yeah, Cam. Basically, what we have designed is a program, and what we do is we will actually drill to the center of the piling and put a product in the center that will stop the termites from coming up into the home.
Stucco exteriors as well?
Correct.
How can people find you, Cajun Mike?
They can find me at e3pest.com.
That's the letter E, the number 3, pest.com.
At Spring Hill Toyota, it's just that easy. From our 3-day exchange to free car washes, the benefits of the Spring Hill Advantage make the choice easy to see. We make it easy to own. Every vehicle comes with Toyota Care, plus our no-cost maintenance plan with free tire rotations and oil changes for 4 years. Get peace of mind with free roadside assistance 24/7. And don't forget, it's easy to buy your car 100% online. Visit SpringHillToyota.com today. It's just that easy.
Hey, this is Cam. Thanks for listening, and I hope you're really enjoying the podcast. Do me a favor and search for Cam Marston on your social media outlets and like us or follow us or whatever is the right thing to do. Also, if you know others who'd benefit from the podcast, please forward it on to them. and encourage them to listen. If you're so inclined, we'd love your rating on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. Those ratings matter. Finally, don't be a stranger. Email me with your comments, your feedback, your thoughts, your show ideas, whatever. Cam, C-A-M, at cammarston.com. I'd love to hear from you. Again, thank you very much for listening. Now, back to the show. We're going to finish up this week with a commentary by David Webb. David's been a commentator on this show before. Nice guy, huge social media presence, lots of strong personalities, and an attempt to try to change the tone in our society wherever I have a small amount of influence. I'm going to try to do so, and that's what you're about to hear here. David and I disagree on the vaccine. I'm a big vaccine fan. The reason I like it is that the experts in my world trust it. David is not a fan of the vaccine. He thinks it's too soon to tell. And I'm giving him space on the show to articulate his beliefs. I'm a big fan of sharing ideas, sharing beliefs, and not arguing about them. And that's what you're going to hear with David, a point of view that I disagree with, but I'm going to welcome his opinion on the show to try to be a model of how people can disagree. So, David Webb and his comments on the vaccine. After David, we'll wrap it up.
No one in America should be forced or feel socially coerced into getting a COVID vaccination, period. That's my stance, so hear me out just a minute. Yes, we are uneager, unwilling, and rebellious. We also represent about 30% of the entire U.S. population that will reject the jab. I'm not saying we're right either. All I'm saying is that we have the right to decline a COVID vaccination, that's all. It's our decision, not yours. Did you know that only 1 in 3 Alabamians have been vaccinated? That's all. In fact, our unused vaccine stockpiles might be redistributed soon to other states or even countries who actually want it. For those of you who were jabbed, I'm curious. Did you post it to Facebook? Maybe attached a pic of your fresh CDC card with a shot date and vaccine lot numbers? I tell you, it's virtue signaling versus self-imposed personal HIPAA violations these days. Have you seen the news showing how the supply of Moderna, Pfizer, and J&J vaccines are outpacing demand? Now, why is that? The mainstream media will tell you that people are hesitating, that they're scared or uneducated, too obstinate, too political, too radical, or too ignorant to get jabbed. But that's all ridiculous. Millions of us just don't want it right now, and we have our reasons. Some of us have acquired immunity from catching COVID already. Others have health reasons and don't want to gamble with the possible bad side effects. But here are the big ones. The FDA has not approved any of this stuff. Nothing, not one vaccine. Clinical trials won't even be completed for another 2 years. All 3 vaccine companies have been given full immunity from liability too, so they are completely off the hook. Vaccinations do not stop you from getting the virus. Just ask those 9 vaccinated Yankee baseball players that contracted COVID this week. And I don't trust Fauci. He's a shepherd looking for faithful sheep. He asks that you obey his machinations regardless of how counterintuitive they might become, even when he eventually demands that small children be vaccinated. And that's coming. Just wait. There are always those far-fetched reasons about the vaccination too, like, female infertility, the disgusting connection to human fetal cells from old abortions, or possible manipulation of our DNA. How about long-term negative effects from mRNA? Who knows? That's all silly conspiracy theory junk anyways, right? Know this. We will not be controlled, manipulated, or intimidated by our government, the media, or others that have chosen to get injected. If you have been vaccinated, you are the clinical trial. You are the animal study. If you voluntarily consent to be injected with an experimental emergency use vaccine that has yet to be approved as safe, then that's your business. As for me, I'm going to decline right now and wait to see what happens to y'all, along with the rest of the unvaccinated herd.
The show is brought to you this week by the Vanilla Ice Cream Eaters of America. VICEA, pronounced Vicia. The Vanilla Ice Cream Eaters of America Social Aid and Pleasure Club, where our motto is, it comes from outer space. To become a member of the Vanilla Ice Cream Eaters of America, go to Facebook and look for Vicia, or Vanilla Ice Cream Eaters of America, where you can sign up and become one of our elite members. However, you have to take an oath that you will only and forever eat vanilla ice cream. And if you can't do that, you can't belong. The show is produced by John Thompson with Eye on Digital. There's a lot of very nice people that help out with the show, and I'd like to thank John Thompson for his time with the show. We'll have another show next week, everybody. Folks, forward the show on. We can't help. We want you to forward it on. Find the podcast, what'sworkingcam.com. Rate the podcast and forward it on. We'll have another show next week, everybody.